Welcome to Montreal Rocks. And today we have in studio, direct from Toronto, Mauve. Mauve, welcome to the show. You've really been pretty busy lately.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
Are we going to be joined by Molly?
My dog, well, she is somewhere downstairs, so I
Okay,
can't
so
bring her up, but
apparently something to see. So say hi for us.
I will. I'll give her a hug.
I always like to start with a little bit about your background. Now, it's very, very clear that TLC was a big inspiration and Amy Winehouse and all that, but I kind of want to still take you back to when you were a child. And oftentimes, we're exposed to music by our parents and we listen to the music that they listen to, but eventually we find our own path and something might hit us, a song, a specific moment, or maybe it's a band, and it just hits us right into the heart. Did that ever happen to you?
Well, my dad's a big music listener. He would always listen to like oldies, like 50s and 60s and singing along to them in the song. So I think him, like, he wasn't a singer by any stretch of the imagination, but him just being so like passionate and into music, I think that kind of made me want to sing along to songs in the car as well. So he listens to a lot of like Beatles and Elvis. So those big names.
Was there like, where did you, when did you find your own musical direction? Something that really spoke to you, not just your parents' music.
I would say it was when I would watch musicals with my mom downtown and just seeing these singers and dancers on stage. I was very shy and quiet as a kid, so that kind of really sparked something in me about wanting to actually be on stage and perform for people. And that was kind of like my first awakening, I guess, into the world of music and the possibilities of what you can create.
And I think you yourself were into theater at one point, right? Theater and
Yeah,
dancing. What did that teach you? What did you learn from
yeah.
it?
It taught me a lot about expressing fully and leaving it all out there on stage, because you can't really overdo something. Like, the more you're able to show and express, the better, because if you look at someone on stage and they're just standing still and not showing any emotion, then it's hard for the audience to connect with that. So I think that really taught me how to connect and engage an audience.
And I think in theater, you have to kind of take it up a notch above what is normal.
Yeah, very dramatic.
So you have to kind of take it up. And I guess that would apply to music as well, because if you don't do that, how can you stand out?
Yeah, to make it larger than life.
And of course, the Toronto music scene really helped shape the way that you did songs and the influences you had. Can you remember the first show that you went to as
That
an
I went to,
attendee?
like a concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first concert, I think it was 7, and it was Shania Twain in Hamilton. So I was a huge fan of her growing up. Like, I knew every single one of her songs. So yeah, it was a great concert experience as a little 8-year-old.
So of course, along the years, as an 8-year-old, you kind of moved on. You started writing your songs. And at one point, I'm going to set the stage for you. You're on stage at Sneaky D's for the first time. What emotions are you feeling at that moment?
I think just so much gratefulness that the path that I was taking led me to that, because I would always go to Sneaky D's as like a guest and was so in love with the vibe and the energy. So to be able to be the one performing for people was just unreal, being able to be in that environment.
Kind of the tables have turned.
Exactly. Yeah, on the other side.
So let's just talk about you and your music. You picked an interesting name, Mauve. It evokes this feeling of romance, nostalgia, and sentimentality, is the definition. How close is that to your music?
I think it's
Those
very
words.
close. Yes, of course. A lot of what I write has a lot of feeling to it, whether it's something I've personally gone through or if I was inspired by someone else's story. So I think Mauve also has a certain softness to it, which is kind of like um how I guess one should approach life with not having to go so extreme, but just kind of having a little grace and softness as well with how you live your life.
And I don't. Does the name William Perkin mean anything to you?
Nope.
Well, 1856, he was the one that discovered the color mauve. He was a
Really?
chemist, and he discovered it by accident. And he was the first one to mass produce a dye that became known as the color mauve.
No
All this by
way.
accident.
Like in a laboratory or something like that?
I don't know. I wasn't there. What
True.
what is something that you accidentally created?
Accidentally created. I guess certain songs where I would just be like in line at the grocery store and then a random melody would pop into my head and then I record it on my phone like in the car and then maybe a couple weeks later when I'm in a writing mood and I feel like writing a song, I'll like listen back to those voice notes and kind of string together all the recordings to form a song.
I believe that you're kind of, I'm sure you know Legos. You kind of grab these Legos out of the air and they become
Yeah.
the foundation. And then you start building on top of it,
Yeah, piece by piece.
which gives you the songs that you have. Now, along the years, at first you talked a lot about love in the way that you did your music and the lyrics and all that. And now you're kind of touching more on heartache.
Mhm.
How does putting it down into words and melody help you process those emotions? Maybe the negative emotions about a bad romance.
Yeah. For me, I'm
Pardon the
so
Lady Gaga pun there.
no worries. Yeah, for me, like I feel so connected to music that being able to just sing those melodies and write those lyrics at the piano really helps me heal through a particular situation that I'm going through. And the more I like sing the song to myself, the more that situation becomes more real to me and I'm able to accept it and kind of go through the stages of healing through it. So it definitely is something that helps me grow, not just as a musician, but also like as a person.
And I think when you're honest about your feelings in the music that you write, I believe that's why people connect with
Hmm.
those songs. And I mean, you've hit a million Spotify hits and even more than that on YouTube. Is that something that you are like? What's the best connection that you've made so far? Maybe a comment somebody put in their DMs or a comment on
Hmm.
YouTube. Is there something that stands out?
Yeah, there's been so many kind comments people have given on my music. Something that really, makes me smile is seeing people on TikTok making dances to my songs. Like they could be on the other side of the world, but somehow they came across my music and they made their own dance to it. And that just puts such a smile on my face, just seeing like an individual person enjoying the song.
Maybe next time before your video, you can give them the song and they can.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So your latest single, which dropped not too long ago, just about a week ago, is a Shining Gold,
Mhm.
and it deals with self-image. Now, of course, when it comes to self-image, it's all about perspective. What do you find is the worst and the best thing to do about the subject? Like, what should you avoid, and what should you do to like get out of that trap?
Yes, we can become so caught up in scrolling on social media that we kind of become trapped in this bubble where we are constantly comparing our looks to people and we might forget that what we're seeing of someone is more like a highlight reel and not the entire picture of their life. So it's important to always take a step back and remember that and just focus on your own aspirations and what you value most about yourself and be able to step away from the phone for a little bit.
And of course, we all know, even though we all know about Photoshop, we all know about filters, yet people still see that as a reality, even though a lot of it is extremely like edited
Mhm.
and tweaked, or even an angle might make somebody look extremely thin or whatever. Um, what should people avoid? Like you said, the phones, but is there a thinking pattern they should avoid as well?
Yeah, I think everyone needs to know that all of our bodies are different and they're not going to look the same every hour of the day. Like, you don't know how many other photos that person may have taken, like hundreds of photos, and they chose this one. And you don't know kind of the outtakes and what they look like, because everyone, you know, we all are human, and we're not like robots or perfect, but we need to realize that everyone, I'm sure, kind of has their own insecurity that they're dealing with, and to not just think that someone's life is perfect.
And you said it yourself, darling, don't try to fit the mold.
Hmm.
And there's something else that you say in the song too, is got to find your flow. What is that for you? Is it maybe, I know you paint, is that a way for you to find your flow?
Yeah, like find that small thing that makes you happy throughout the day. Don't try to copy what other people are doing, like walk to the beat of your own drum, and just find those inner passions that truly make you happy.
I have a friend that's a painter, and it's very interesting to see the process of all how that all goes. When you paint, what are you releasing onto that canvas?
Hmm. Um, I I guess the type of painter I am is like, I like more of the abstract style, where you can just throw a bunch of colors on there, and then when you look back, you kind of see how it all comes together. I'm not the one that does the meticulous blending that makes it look like exactly as the item or the scene looks. So I like kind of leaving it up for interpretation, and just allowing things to just be spread out on the canvas.
Those
And
emotions in there, and let's see where they land.
exactly.
Another thing I like to do is I like to find your first Instagram post. Now, your first Instagram post, and I'm really curious about what happens after this, but
Mhm.
you're in a bar and there's some sort of domino of shots.
Yes.
What happened next?
That must have been a lot of scrolling to get down there. I think it was a few years ago.
Takes a
Um,
long time, yeah.
yeah, I was in Florence, Italy on a trip with my family, and we were at a bar, and the bartender did this really cool trick where he had all these little glasses set up on the bigger glasses. So all of the drinks mixed into the one on the bottom, and then we just grabbed a glass and cheers and drank.
Sounds like a fun night.
It was.
Well, what's next for you? Where can we expect to see new stuff from Mauve?
I have the music video for Shining Gold coming out this Friday. So it'll be available publicly on YouTube. And it's also playing on a few Stingray Music TV channels.
Okay. And I know there's going to be some dancing. I've already got a sneak peek, so I'm not going to
Yes.
say anything more, but this will be released on the same day, so we'll get to see it all at the same time. So
Hmm.
thank you so much. What's the best way for people to reach you if they want to follow you, if they want to send you those TikTok videos? What's the best way?
Yes, on TikTok, I'm at mauve.music. And that's my username for Instagram as well, where you can see a lot of behind the scenes work that I do with my songs and all of my new covers. And I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. So it'd be great to connect with people on there.
I'll put all the links in the show notes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was so great to talk with you.